exactly what they are doing. And remember, gentlemen, just because your parent has not paid your school fee, does it mean you don't eat in the house? No. If your parent has afforded food, but you have not been paid school fee, do you say, why are we eating and my fee has not been paid? That is the conversation we are having when we say there is flood in Nairobi, but someone has gone to, like, okay, fine. Does this problem ensure that now this other thing needs not to exist in totality? So we cannot be able to have that conversation, because then we'll be able to argue and say, why are you having clothes, my brother, and we have street kids in Nairobi? I'll then be able to argue and say, why is Mwalimu Odoe ensuring that after this program all of us have tea and people have not eaten in Marala? So at the end of the day, we must try and always be objective and say, okay, fine, there is a problem in northeastern Kenya. There is a drought situation. But first question, how long has it existed? Did this drought situation ascend to this country with President William Ruto, with this government? And two, what has he done about it? Has he done something better than the previous governments did? Because I've always said, nation building is a work in progress, my brother. Nation building is a work in progress. When I look at my brother here with this type of suit that he's wearing, he looks to me like a very ambitious gentleman. That means one day he'll run to be president of this country. And one thing I want to assure you, he'll have something he'll be promising Kenyans. Meaning, problems will still be in existence from today, 30 years, the time this gentleman, or 20 years, when he'll be running for president. So we must not always behave as though government should have microwave solutions, but we must always ask ourselves, where did they find us? And where are we? And are there steps that have been taken towards the right direction? Then we'll get there. This country has had Golden Bag scandal. This country has had major corruption scandals that we've had before. So far, 4 years into this administration, can you be able to name a corruption scandal that has hit headline, complete with the name like Golden Bag scandal? All we can talk about is issues and I'm not saying that it's a clean government, not at all. But I'm saying nation building is a work in progress, and therefore I'm looking at where have they been and where are we. The only things we want to mention are, for instance, 11 billion SHA, right? Which was a Nation newspaper headline. But my question to all of you, did you read the story? Because if you read the story, then you'll realize that it was an audit query. But because you only read the headline, you think that CS Duale pocketed 11 billion and went home. And that is the problem sometimes with our media, because then it helps to advance the propaganda. When you read down and get into the story, you get to realize, oh, wait a minute. So why was this headline necessary? Why was this headline necessary? So for me, I keep arguing that when we want to change the country, let us start by getting our facts right. And two, let us delink emotions. You see, every time you want to respond, for instance, right now, the moment you want to respond and you feel like your anger is higher than your reason, know that you are about not to make sense. Thank you very much.